Part 1. What was surprising for Louise in Japan? Have you ever heard of Rwanda? It is a country with a great natural beauty in the Central Africa. Marie-Louise Kambenga, a peace activist, is from Rwanda. She was the only girl who graduated from high school in her village. She studied home economics, and after graduation, became a dressmaking teacher. In her school, there was a Japanese volunteer. She recommended Louise as a trainee in Japan. In 1993, Louise came to Fukushima as a trainee to study dressmaking. Living with a host family in Japan was a completely new experience for her. Louise was really amazed when she saw an elderly woman reading a newspaper. She had never seen such a thing. Louise was also impressed with Japan's educational system, especially free public education for all children. In Rwanda, many poor children could not go to school. In 1994, after an interesting 10-month experience, Louise returned to her husband and children in Rwanda. Part 2. What happened when Louise returned to Rwanda? 2 months after her return, her life suddenly changed. One evening, Louise and her family heard a loud explosion. She did not know what was happening in our country until she received a phone call from Japan. Her host family told her that the president of Rwanda had been assassinated. The country fell into confusion. In the early 20th century, Rwandan people were divided and set against each other by Belgian rulers. These groups started to fight one another. After the assassination of the president, the situation got worse and worse. People even killed their relatives just because they were from different groups. The confusion caused the genocides, that is, the mass killing of people. Louise and her family had to escape from Rwanda. On the way to the border, there was a death all around them. Shockingly, they saw young people killed right in front of them. Part 3. What item enabled Louise to save many refugees? At last, Louise and her family arrived at one of the refugee camps in the Congo. However, the camp was like hell. People could not find enough food, so they had to eat the grass to stay alive. A large number of people died every day. One day, when Louise was standing in line to send a fax to Japan, a Japanese volunteer doctor spoke to her. He realized that Louise knew some Japanese because he noticed the hiragana on her paper. He asked her if she could work as an interpreter in the camp. Unbelievably, when she escaped from Rwanda, her Japanese dictionary had been in her bag. This unexpected item enabled her to work as an interpreter and save many other refugees. Louise and her family stayed in the camp for 6 months. After that, thanks to her Japanese friends, she came to Japan again, this time with her family. She finally escaped from this horrible civil war. Part 4. According to Louise, what is the key to peace? Louise believes that the Rwandan Civil War was caused by a lack of education. People in Rwanda were easily manipulated during the war. In other words, they could not tell right from the wrong. She has realized that education is the key to preventing future wars. When education can create peace in the village, then it can also build a peaceful nation. With this knowledge, Louise established a school for children in Rwanda. All children can attend this school even if they do not have money. Young people's thinking changed after that. In the past, when children in the Rwanda were asked about their dreams, they said, "Can I live until I'm a grown-up?" Now, school children in Rwanda have dreams for the future. Today, Louise lives in Japan. She survived the Rwandan genocide through education. She keeps sharing her experiences with the people in both Rwanda and Japan.